Thank you so much for taking out the time. Finally, my brother, we're doing this. First and foremost, this is a big step. This is a big move. A very important tournament for Pakistan. It's the first time a proper contingent is going to the Asian Championships. How are you feeling ahead of it? How has the preparation been? How has everything been coming together? A few days away, how are you feeling about it?
I think I'm feeling very positive. Although we have had some hiccups in the team. Ayan got injured during the camp. He's one of our top performers from the last year's IMF World Championships. Uske baad Dawood, had the dengue virus and he couldn't recover. So apart from that, the preparation has been very good. Obviously, we're very lucky to have Ehtisham Bhai as our coach. He's one of the top coaches in the world. I always say that कि अगर आप किसी का फराज जहाबी या मैकग्रेगर के कोच के साथ मुकाबला कर सकते हैं तो it's Ehtisham Bhai. He understands the game more than anyone. Secondly, ये है कि I'm very excited about the contingent. हमारे पास काफ़ी अच्छा नया talent है. उसमें we have Azim going. जो कि जूनियर्स में compete कर रहा है. I think he's a very exciting prospect for Pakistan MMA, and in years to come I think because he's young and he has been performing very well in the circuit. Recently अभी super fights में he had a tough fight but he did his best. तो उसके अलावा हमारे पास obviously Zulkarnain है, he's a veteran, he's on his 5th IMF tournament going. और उसके अलावा Shahab is a very exciting prospect again for Pakistan. Obviously he's the national champion right now and he's been very dominant in his past performances. उसके अलावा Bushra is going with us, वो भी national champion है. और she's a great grappler. Last time उनकी fight जो थी that would have qualified her for the bronze, pretty touch and go थी. जो commentators थे, they thought she won, but obviously it was given to the other side. But इस बार I've seen Ehtisham and her work together and I have very high hopes. Then we have the new fighter Marwa from Balochistan. She's very good and looks very promising. और इससे ये है कि this gives an image कि this sport is for everyone, no matter what part of Pakistan you come from, but you can compete, you can represent your country and you can become a champion. We have Rashid, who's also national champion in 65 category. Again उसकी striking जो है वो अभी उस तरह mature नहीं हुई, so we want to give him a chance at the Asians. Asians जो है itself, it's a very grappling dominant competition, because अगर आप देखें तो World Championships की जो top 10 teams है उसमें से 6 Asians हैं, including Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Bahrain, and they're very wrestling dominant contingents. So I think this will be a good test for our team. This will be an exciting challenge, and given that the camp the athletes have done, I have really high hopes.
So let's take it from there. Like the last outing, of course, was Serbia. Before that, it was the big outing was Abu Dhabi, the first time the contingent went out. So with each progressing big tournament where contingent's going, there's obviously some learning experiences, some learning curve stuff that you guys are taking and adjusting as you go along. What would be some of the major adjustment periods, learning curves that you guys have experienced as a federation, and what would you want to say about them just as a...
I think इसमें दो तीन चीज़ें देखो. एक learning curve है athletes का, coaching का, performance on the stage का. फिर एक learning curve है management side का. जो learning curve management side का है उसमें यार we have to understand कि how do we bring in sponsors. कोई भी sport जो है depends on sponsors and is all about bringing the eyeballs to the game. So हमने एक ecosystem develop करने की कोशिश की है. Ecosystem जो होता है वो आपके different tiers को उनको address करता है. अब जैसे cricket है, we have a huge example of cricket. Cricket brings in a lot of money. You have the PSL league which brings athletes from outside. हम बाकी sports को पार पे नहीं देखते. ठीक है, hockey was very good at time. We had squash. We had a couple of world champions from squash. Hua kya? We have to understand where did all these sports lack, and they are not where cricket is now. So उसमें हमें एक बड़ी deep understanding हमने develop की और हमने एक कह लें कि हम pool of sponsors बनाया जिसमें FMCG के बड़े brands हैं. Nestle has always helped us out. Daewoo is there. We have software companies like Captex backing us up. उसके अलावा हमारे पास media houses like Salman Iqbal has always stepped up and helped us and always shown the fights. So again with A Sports coming in is a huge advantage. ठीक है. So all these people, we want the sports to grow. And we have got the big real estate companies, ठीक है, उसमें हमारे पास Lake City है, Smart City है, they've always backed us up. I would like to give props to Baba Raja and SA Gardens for doing ये national fighting tournament, जिसको हम अभी national championship का भी नाम देते हैं. उसकी वजह ये है कि that brings out the talent. अभी we have an idea कि who the talented people are. First time जब हम गए दानियाल championship पे अबू धाबी, so we had a very clear idea, and you were at the forefront of it, mandating and guiding. I would say you mandated कि आप इस्माइल को लेके जाएं. I have never seen him. मुझे आपकी वजह से इस्माइल का पता लगा. He came in a camp. Unfortunately his brother died. He left halfway. तो मुझे I was not sure of his potential, but मैं आपको ये बात करना चाहता हूँ कि मेरी ज़िंदगी का जो सबसे खुशी का मौका था वो ये था कि when Ismail was at the podium at the Abu Dhabi World Championships, because आप realize करते हो कि यार more than 60 countries came, they competed, and you have one of your guys, despite having very limited resources and coaching, he still managed to beat 2 world champions. ठीक है, he beat a European champion, he beat 2 world champions, because उसकी जो weight category थी was stacked with former world champions and European champions, and he exceeded all our expectations. So I think after that every year we see कि new talent comes in. पहले ये था कि talent was a very small pool of people, but अब ये है कि मैंने इस बार मैं trials जो थे पंजाब के, मैं उस पे गया, and I saw there are other gyms doing really well. उसमें ज़मान का gym है, Fight Fortress has the most amount of champions at this point in time, और फिर the biggest example is the Serbian World Championship. उसमें हमने देखा कि although we took all the world championships all the national champions from NFT, but there was a distinct difference between how Ayan was performing and how the other kids were, so again मैं बड़ा इम्प्रेस हूँ how CACs have done it, again limited resources. देखो दुनिया में लोग उन लोगों की कदर करते हैं और उन लोगों को सराहते हैं जो with zero resources as an underdog ऊपर आते हैं, और CACs की एग्जांपल है कि यार they don't have the sponsors, they don't have the facility, but they have the champions. और वो champions नहीं है कि जो सिर्फ पाकिस्तान में fights जीते हैं, जो world level पे जाके बड़े performers को हराते हैं. So again मैं बड़ा disheartened था कि Ayan couldn't make it. Not उसमें उसकी बेचारे की कोई गलती नहीं है, it's just luck कि he got injured, but I think कि ये बच्चा जो है he will be another Ismail, because जो talent है, drive है उसके अंदर, और जो ability to win big fights है, वो मैंने अभी उसके साथ अभी किसी पाकिस्तानी लड़के को उस तरह परफॉर्म करते हुए नहीं देखा. Obviously Azim is there, there's a lot of hype about it, और यहाँ पे मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि लोगों को शायद नहीं पता है, लोग अंडर एस्टिमेट करते हैं कि third world now real world, that has made a very big impact in the MMA community in Pakistan. और कायम और बेग, despite all the criticism and despite all the challenges those kids had, they've established a very big brand. और उनकी वजह से यार Warriors 2 हुआ क्योंकि they brought Neza in, ठीक है, Captex आया उनकी वजह से, because they bring these eyeballs, these kids. देखो जब भी आप कोई sports grow करते हो, you need all genres of the society to watch that sport, so they bring the right clientele, the right kids, और I think कि पाकिस्तान MMA में उनका एक बहुत major impact है. So obviously I am a big fan of what they do and how they do it, those kids.
This championship and you guys heading out, of course there is a big task ahead of you. It's going to be really I would say it's going to be tough naturally, because like you said, Asians is a tough competition, really not second to Worlds in any way. Most of the people performing at Worlds are going to be at Asians as well. So in terms of expectation management from the athlete level to the management level to yourself, what have you set out in terms of what you expect from the team, from each individual athlete at these World Championships, and how are you approaching what you guys want to achieve at the Asian Championships?
ठीक है, उसमें very well said by you कि it is one of the toughest championships. Obviously there is Pan American, there is African Championship, there is Europeans, but जो ज़्यादातर World Championship teams हैं जो top 10 है, वो सारी Asians के अंदर compete करती हैं, Bahrain and Tajikistan being the top 2. So it is not going to be easy, but I'm very excited कि जैसे हमने बात की कि इस बार what we have done is we have invested in understanding how grappling works. Pakistan has a very rich wrestling background. To put that together, we did a camp with the wrestling team. We brought a lot of kids who are predominantly wrestlers but competing in MMA. तो हम उनको लेके आए साथ, हमने उनको कैंप के अंदर डाला और अंडरस्टैंड किया कि कहाँ where are we lacking. Obviously इस बार वर्ल्ड चैम्पियनशिप पे was very interesting in Albania. We had a lot of knockouts. इस बार आप कह सकते हैं कि if not more, striking was at par with grappling. देखिए important चीज़ understand करने की है, and I have this question which I asked to everyone as an intellectual debate कि how do the wrestlers not do that well in professional promotions. आप मुझे एक कोई professional promotion बताएं. UFC में देखें most world champions apart from the Dagestanis are actually strikers. और अभी अगर आप उन wrestlers को भी देखें, so they are winning fights by striking. उसके अलावा आप जो one championship है आप देखें, they take pride in saying कि जी we have all the best strikers in the world. So मैं ये understand करना चाह रहा हूँ कि how does this downturn work. और सबसे interesting बात ये है कि बहरीन being one of the top countries, जिनके पास Sabrina D'Souza थी, जिनके पास Gitinov था, now they're not there, so there's a bit of a vacuum, right? Now the grappling will, I think, will be important but not be as dominant as it was in last 3 years that we saw. So I think this year is going to be very interesting, and मैं हमेशा बहुत ज़्यादा extra positive होता हूँ, और मैं again इस बार extra positive हूँ, and I think कि हम 3-4 medal तो ज़रूर 4 to 5 medals तो इंशाल्लाह लाजमी लेके आएंगे.
Everyone who came on Fly Box today, of course, talked massively about the effort that you put in, your role in putting all this together. Of course, none of this is done without finances, and you were able to put together sponsors for a sport like MMA, and considering where it is right now, and the fact that we're sending such a well put together contingent of fighters. Naturally, a lot of unfortunately within the MMA community as well, a lot of people watching on the mic are people part of the MMA community. And I asked everyone else this question as well, and I'll ask you the same question. What message would you have to people who are either supporting the contingent or even have criticisms towards the contingent in terms of the work that is needed to be done to make sure that this contingent that can go? So overall, with regards to this specific subject, what would be your message to the community?
देखो यार, बात ये है कि criticism हर चीज़ का होता है. No matter what you get up to, आप even if you're scoring 100 out of 100, लोग आपको कहेंगे यार आपके 101 नंबर क्यों नहीं है. So I think criticism will always be there. Even if someone does a perfect job, there will be criticism. And to be honest, I'm not bothered about criticism. I am not that person who, thrives upon being liked. Even if I'm unliked, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, as an organization, as a federation, हमारा goal है कि to put athletes on that podium. ठीक है? We win on the world and we get on the podium. जो इस vision के साथ in sync है, वो, props to them. जो नहीं है, unfortunately, हम उनके साथ काम करना हमारे लिए टफ होता है. ठीक है, हम ट्राई करते हैं बेस्ट पॉसिबल टीम सेलेक्ट हो, बट जब वर्ल्ड चैम्पियनशिप के लिए हम जाते हैं तो वी आर नॉट इन द टॉप 10 टीम्स, तो हमारा फर्स्ट हक नहीं होता भेजने का. जो स्टार्ट कैटेगरीज हैं वो पहले हो जाती हैं. उसके बाद सेकेंडली ये है कि मैं हमेशा आई ऑलवेज लाइक टू वर्क इन द शेडोज़ इन द बैकग्राउंड. मैं कभी सामने नहीं है, इसलिए मैंने कभी ज़्यादा इंटरव्यूज़ वगैरह नहीं दिए. ठीक है, देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क दैट गोज़ इन. ठीक है, और उसमें हमें ग्रीन हिल की बड़ी सपोर्ट है, हमें आबिद की बड़ी सपोर्ट है. ठीक है, ही इज़ ऑलवेज बीन देयर फॉर अस. ही मैनेजेस आवर रिलेशनशिप विद IMF, ही मैनेजेस आवर रिलेशनशिप विद द एशियन MMA फेडरेशन. I sit on the chair of the Asian Federation. We do key decision makings in how the funding is going to go for the Asians, how the events are going to take place, और एज ए स्पोर्ट MMA को किस तरह डेवलप करना है. सो उसमें ये है कि यार आई थिंक एज ए कम्युनिटी वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि वी आर ऑल इन द सेम बोट. इफ़ वी रो टुगेदर we'll be successful. If we don't row together, कुछ लोग उस तरफ रो करेंगे, कुछ लोग इस तरफ रो करेंगे, तो the boat will not go anywhere and we'll stay where it is. ठीक है, हमारा जो मुकाबला है वो बड़ी टफ स्पोर्ट्स के साथ है. We have cricket. ठीक है, अब देखो you have to understand कि मैंने जो भी इवेंट खड़ा किया, I have from a very small amount of money we have made very big impacts. ठीक है, उसमें ये है कि यार स्पॉन्सर भी खुश रहता है, स्पॉन्सर को उस तरह की माइलेज भी मिलती है. ठीक है, it's a domino effect, it's a chain effect. You have to make sure you have the right media people behind you. You have to make sure that you bring in the right sort of the entertainment, the fight aspect, the look and feel, the international people that you bring in are important. Last year हम अब्बास लेके आए, that was very important for us. अब इस साल यार ग्रीन हिल के साथ मिलके, ARY के साथ मिलके हमारा एम ये है कि we want to do a fight week in Pakistan, like a whole week. So अभी जो most important चीज़ और जो most exciting चीज़ मेरे लिए है वो ये है कि सलमान भाई is coming to the event, Abid is coming to the event. ठीक है, we have some very important people from the government coming to the event. उसमें ये है कि we are going to sit down with Sheikh Khalid, we are going to sit down with Shahid from Brave, we are going to sit down with the IMF president and Asian Council का president to get this for Pakistan. Next year, April, May, we are going to do Asian or South Asian Championship in Pakistan, subsidized by the government, by the sponsors. Secondly, we are bringing, Brave CF back to Pakistan. So, जैसे 2018 में एक बड़ा event किया था Brave ने, इसी तरह Brave is, going to do a very big event in Pakistan, at par with the event they do in Hyderabad, in India. सो आई थिंक कि हम सारी कम्युनिटी को चाहेंगे वो इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करे, हम सारे स्पॉन्सर्स को चाहेंगे वो इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करे. और इट्स, मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि इट्स पाकिस्तान MMA फेडरेशन. ये कोई लाहौर की फ़ेडरेशन या ये कोई वॉल्टन रोड की फ़ेडरेशन नहीं है, ये पाकिस्तान की फ़ेडरेशन है. इसमें हम चाहते हैं, हम पहली दफ़ा टीम लेके गए, ठीक है. वी हैड पीपल फ्राम ऑल डिफरेंट जिम्स, वी हैड people from all different backgrounds, age groups. Similarly, अब जो हम टीम लेके जा रहे हैं उसमें भी we have people from all different gyms and backgrounds. Obviously Ayan is not here, हमें उसका बड़ा loss महसूस होगा, but again, the ecosystem is very important in Pakistan. ठीक है, ecosystem का मतलब ये है कि you have events, जैसे आपने एक बड़ा अच्छा event खड़ा किया सुपर फाइट, बाबर राजा ने IFT कराया, ठीक है, ज़बरदस्त event, ठीक है. उसके अलावा ARY Warriors है. So ये event क्या करते हैं, it helps these talented people to make themselves better. ठीक है, हमारे पास टॉप पे बड़े अच्छे फाइटर हैं, हमारे पास रिजवान अली है, हमारे पास आकिब है, हमारे पास अप एंड कमिंग बाबर है, he just won a fight. इस्माइल वगैरह जो हैं वो एक डिफरेंट लीग के फाइटर्स हैं. तो इनको जब तक पाकिस्तान में अच्छे कंपेटिटर्स के साथ कम्पीट करने का मौका नहीं मिलेगा, they would never be able to be the top people at world stage. अगर आज हम बैठ के कहते हैं कि हमें UFC में फ़ाइटर भेजना है या हमें कोई वन चैम्पियनशिप में वर्ल्ड चैम्पियन बनाना है, सो वी हैव टू रिवर्स इंटीग्रेट दैट. ठीक है, कि आपने चैम्पियन बनाना है, उसके लिए क्या चाहिए, हमें लोकल कंपटीशन चाहिए, हमें टैलेंट डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम चाहिए, हमें पैसे वेस्ट नहीं करने चाहिए, हमें फ़ॉरेन कोचेस लेके आना चाहिए, हमें टैलेंट पूल आइडेंटिफाई करना चाहिए. ठीक है, जो मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, देयर आर 3 टाइप्स ऑफ पीपल. देयर आर चैम्पियनशिप मटीरियल, people that can go and win championships. ठीक है, then there are people who are competitors, who are good at competing, but there's a gap between them who's a championship material guy and a competitor. And then there are participants, कि आप उनको ले जाते, you think यार maybe ये बंदा so हमने participants को साइड पे करना है, हमने competitors के ऊपर concentrate करना है, और हमने जो championship material बच्चे हैं उनको KHK भेजना है, उनको बैंगटो या टाइगर मुay थाई भेजना है, क्या जाके कैंप करो, उन पे हमें इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए. ठीक है, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आप नेशनल चैम्पियनशिप इसलिए कराते हो ताकि यू हैव पीपल स्टैंडिंग ऑन द पोडियम, पीपल विनिंग मेडल्स फॉर पाकिस्तान इन एशियन चैम्पियनशिप एंड वर्ल्ड चैम्पियनशिप. हमने उस नज़र से इवेंट कराना है. ठीक है, सो आई थिंक दैट इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज़ ब्रिंग इन स्पॉन्सर्स. ठीक है, अंडरस्टैंड करो स्पॉन्सर्स क्यों आएंगे. मैं हमेशा लोगों को ये कहता हूँ कि आप हर दफ़ा जाके चंदा नहीं मांग सकते हो कि प्लीज़ गरीब बच्चा है, इसने फ़ाइट करनी है, इसको दे दें, पाकिस्तान के लिए दे दें. यू हैव टू रियली ब्रिंग वैल्यू फॉर अ ब्रांड. ठीक है, उसमें यह है कि आई वॉज रेडी टू इन्वेस्ट इन डूइंग सेमिनार्स, इन ब्रिंगिंग, इन एक्सप्लेनिंग कैक्स कि यार आपका इस्माइल इतना एक प्रोडोमिनेंट स्टार है, हाउ डू यू bring in the right people for them, how do you bring in the right sponsors for him, for Ayan, for Babar Ali. So उसमें Fight Fortress भी, I think एहतशाम भाई जो है वो is a great human being, is a legendary coach, and वो मैं I'm very very lucky to have him on my side, that he goes with us, he makes those kids compete so much in a better way. So I think a community हमारी एक अच्छी लाइन पे चल पड़ी है, और हम चाहते हैं कि हम सारे मिल के बैठें इसके अंदर. हम अंडरस्टैंड, पहले हम अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव्स और गोल्स डिफाइन करें, और उनकी बेसिस पे हम एक प्रॉपर प्लान बनाएं, हम उसमें एक फंडिंग का प्लान बनाएं. ठीक है, क्योंकि आई थिंक की टू स्पोर्ट्स होती है फंडिंग. ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट के साथ हमारे रिलेशनशिप बहुत अच्छे हैं, हमें हर दफ़ा गवर्नर सेंड ऑफ देता है, हमें लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसीज बुलाती हैं कि आके आप अपना सेल्फ डिफेंस का प्रोग्राम बनाए. सो वी हैव अ वेरी गुड अंडरस्टैंडिंग विद द गवर्नमेंट. अभी गवर्नमेंट ने हमें कहा है कि यार गो अहेड, ब्रिंग अस एन इवेंट, ब्रिंग अस अ बिग इवेंट, और वी आर जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट ब्रिंगिंग खबीब फॉर अ डे. Khabib has agreed that he will come to Pakistan for a day. In the morning he'll come meet the right people, do the watch couple of fights, give away medals, and he'll leave. So isme hum we want everybody to be part of this, because if we are able to do this will be a game changer for Pakistan. Or me, with people or without people, we'll still be able to do this. So inshallah जो हमारे साथ होगा वो उन सबको फ़ायदा होगा, और इंशाल्लाह पाकिस्तान जो MMA कम्युनिटी है वो ग्रो करेगी, और that's it.